Hey guys, how's it going? It's Robert Sislow here, Director of Production for Grant Cardone TV. And today in studio on the show Ask the Pro, where we bring the expert, the individual in their space, knows their stuff, knows their game, knows what makes you money, knows what makes them money, and why they dominate that. I've got Jason Emmett right here, the Vice President of Sales for Mango Voice. These guys hooked up on an advertising and brand awareness campaign with us, what, about 3 months ago?
Yeah, it's been about that long.
You guys have learned a lot since we've been doing this, right?
Oh my gosh, it's mind-boggling.
Mind-boggling?
Yeah,
Absolutely.
So much. I thought I knew something about it. I had no idea.
You had no idea. But we've talked about brand development. We've talked about article creation. We've talked about video. You're doing videos now.
Yeah. Yep.
Doing posts. We had a really good, productive meeting at lunch. And this interview today is really to go into the depth of the one key ingredient that you need to make money, which is what?
Your telephone.
Your damn telephone. You're not going to make money without a phone. So Jason here is going to talk about his business, what his business does, how it helps people, how it helps you save money, and how it actually is the most, their service is the most effective service on the market today. Before we get into that, Jason, also thank you so much for coming. We're happy
thanks for having me here.
Really appreciate that.
Yeah, it's really great.
Where did Jason Emmett start? Like, I know you had a few companies before this, but how did you get started?
My background's really in sales centers, coaching sales, and call centers. And so obviously one of the biggest tools that we use in that industry is our telephone. And so I spent a lot of time, many years working with companies trying to put processes in place for better customer experiences, for better employee experiences, all around the telephone. And so when I got hooked up with Mango Voice, it was a real natural fit. This is the space I understood, and it's a product that I really believe in. It's a product that I know if you're selling anything, especially if you're selling over the telephone, your customer has to have an excellent experience, and you want your employees to have an excellent experience. And so it really makes sense. It was just a natural fit for me to get involved with Mango Voice.
Okay. So you're talking about a better experience around the telephone. What does that mean? What are you talking? Let's go break that down for us. What are we talking about?
Okay, so let's start with your old school telephone is sit on the desk, and it could take a call, you can make a call, and that was about it. Its functionality kind of ended there. Well, our functionality now with the telephone is amazing. Our cloud-based service makes it so when you get a voicemail on your phone, you can get that in a text message, you can get it in an email. It makes it so that you can control your phone, right? The worst thing that could ever happen is you've been following up with this client, trying to get a hold of them, and they try to call you back and you don't take the call. Or they can't get a hold of you, right? That's the worst thing that can happen in sales.
By the way, as a side note, if you have a phone and your voicemail box is full and you don't have a voicemail box that's been set up yet, you are stopping your own progress in business. I just needed to drop that in there.
Oh, I'm glad you did. It's absolutely right. That's one of the problems we solve.
I had to say it because it annoys me.
Yeah, well, that's one of the problems that we solve because and we all do it. We're guilty of it. We let our voicemail box fill up.
Right.
It's too easy not to. So technology changed it so that now when we get a voicemail, we get it just like your mobile phone. You get it zapped, right? Your email, you get a text message with that message, and that's just one of the tools. So what we do is instead of having the phone just be a necessary evil, right? This tool we have to use, and we make it so it functions as a tool to help our clients have a better experience with their voicemail, with when they call, what do they hear? How does the call get routed? Does it get routed faster? We don't want our clients, our patients, we don't want them waiting on hold for a very long time. So all of these tools that exist now for the phones make it so that the experience of your customer calling you and you calling your customer is better.
So you're focused around quality, service, speed, get the sale, help the customer, be in their face, rock and roll.
That's exactly it. That's exactly it.
So you're talking about a cloud-based service. You're talking about all these different things. What distinguishes Mango Voice from other, like you've got Quest, you got other people out there. What is it about you guys that would make, say, members of our audience that have a business that just started up, that need a service, that need to get started with something along the lines where they can actually communicate with their customers but also have a better experience on the phone? What distinguishes Mango Voice from other?
Okay, I appreciate that. So the first thing is a big one, and it's that we're a voice over IP company, meaning you raised your hand there. What was that?
Yeah, what's that mean?
Voice over IP is voice over internet protocol. So the first question that everybody asks, and that you should ask, is do I have to have an internet line to my business? The answer is yes. All of the phones work over the internet. So that's probably the biggest difference between, from a technological standpoint, from a hardware standpoint, is you got to have an internet. You got to have a Cat5 line to wherever you're going to have a phone. But then from there, it really diverges completely. We're not just about providing a dial tone. When you get hooked up with Mango Voice, you're getting the entire, we have over 100 features, to give you an idea, over 100 business features, and they're all included for every single customer. So it's an enterprise feature list. You get every one of these things, your voicemail, your schedule-based routing, what happens when the call comes in, where does it go? All those things are included with Mango Voice. So instead of getting nickeled and dimed, right? Hey, I signed up for phone, I'm paying 3 cents a minute for my long distance, I'm paying all these other fees. It's all included when you go voice over IP. There's no more, it's unlimited calling. There's no more long distance fees. I can call over here to Miami, spend an hour on the phone with you. I don't pay any more for that than I would have called down the street.
Wow, it's impressive.
Isn't that great?
That's great. So with businesses, I mean, you're kind of in a market that's a little bit different. You know, we've got people that do marketing, we've got people that do, this is something that's actually a mechanical necessity.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's a mechanical necessity for businesses.
Yeah.
I mean, we've got cell phones, we've got good stuff like that, but you have a physical location and you need communication from that location. So how does Mango Voice and what you're doing over there, how does that really approach the idea that communication is key, and how do you guys help enable that communication for other future clients and people?
Well, that's a great question. So a lot of people, like today's entrepreneur, let's face the facts. You're not just sitting there at your desk all day long, right? You've got the time you're at your desk, you're working, but you've also got time you're out meeting with clients. You've got time where you're not sitting at your desk. And so one of the biggest advantages of Mango Voice is the find me, follow me, the hunt feature. When somebody calls your number,
find me, follow me, and hunt me.
Yeah, find me, follow me, hunt me. If I have somebody calling me, they better be able to find me. It's going to check my desk phone if I don't pick up there. It's going to go to my mobile phone if I don't pick up there. It's going to go to somebody on my sales team. If they don't pick up there, it's going to go to an answering service. Right? We don't ever actually want that voicemail to hit our voicemail box. We want, if somebody's calling us and they have a live voice, I want to get that live person on the phone with me or somebody else.
That's incredible.
Yeah.
So you've set up a system where if you're not there, somebody is going to pick up the phone, somebody is going to talk to that customer,
That's right.
Somebody's going to close a sale.
That's right. And so we teach you guys exactly how to do that. We don't just sell you Mango Voice and say, hey, you're on your own. We walk you step by step in setting it up so that you're the exact same way. So that when somebody tries to get a hold of you, they're going to get a hold of you. And that's the most important thing. I mean, most of your followers, the people who follow Grant Cardone, entrepreneurs, right?
Yeah.
People, they're movers and shakers. They're out making things happen. They're not just sitting at a desk all day long. But this gives you the perception in your client's mind that you're there for them all the time.
That's beautiful. So talk about that. The importance of perception for the customer, that you are there, that actually for them, you're there at any time.
Yeah, think about that. When's the last time you tried to get a hold of somebody and it was important and you got their voicemail? Mm-hmm. You tried to get a hold of somebody who's important and you didn't get any voicemail option at all. The phone just rang and rang and rang. Is that frustrating?
Oh, yeah.
It's terribly frustrating.
This voicemail box has not been set up yet.
Oh, yeah, that's the worst. Or this voicemail box is full.
We're out of vacation. We're on vacation.
Or somebody says, you know, I know you're trying to get a hold of Rob. Let me put you on hold and see if we can find him. It doesn't happen like that anymore. Today, we want instant gratification, right? And so when you're...
So you've bypassed the hold.
Absolutely.
So there's no hold. So you actually could be like, you could just call in and somebody's going to answer the phone.
Absolutely.
It's going to go...
We can set it up any way you want it. You know, we have doctor's offices who, they want it to say, hey, you've reached Dr. Jones's office. Please hold for the next available, or press 1 for a new appointment, press 2 for prescription refill, whatever that's going to be. You can set it up that way, or you can just set it up so that when somebody calls that number, it's hunting you down. It's checking where you're at. It's going to log. It can find you on the app. It can find you through your mobile phone. We want to make sure that when we get a customer, a potential customer, or an existing customer, just as important, to call us, we take that call. We don't ever want to miss that call. And I think that's one of the big advantages of voice over IP, but Mango Voice in general, is all those things are set up for you right from the beginning. You know, we send you, it's essentially plug and play. We send you a phone that you can literally plug into the phone, the Cat5 cable on your wall, and it's on. There's no, you don't have to do any programming on site.
Yeah, I mean, and I like that. I think the coolest thing is that hunt feature, because even here we have, you know, we sometimes we have to do the hold, do the transfer, do that whole deal. I really like the idea of being able to directly access somebody in a business, and you know, you don't miss the opportunity. Because I know sometimes, like, I'll be on another call, but nobody else would answer it, and it goes to my voicemail, and then I get the notification of my email.
Right.
But I like the feature of the hunting because it's like, oh, well, somebody's going to pick up the phone, somebody's going to communicate with that person.
You know, think about it. If they're calling you, they're calling back because they're trying to make a decision. They need more information. They want to make a decision. The last thing I want,
speed that up.
Yeah, I don't want them to get a voicemail box. I want them to get right a hold of you every single time. So that's what Mango Voice does. One of the other cool features about this that I kind of neglected to bring up is that you can integrate multiple locations. So let's say you've got 3 or 4 offices or multiple locations. You're a doctor or a dentist, and you've got 5 different locations, or however that's set up. you can literally be like you're virtually one location.
Right.
So that when somebody calls that number, it can ping the different locations. You can put somebody on hold in Miami and they can pick it up in St. George, Utah, like you were in the same building. You don't have to do all this weird transfer stuff. You just put them on hold, they can pick it up anywhere. So it integrates because the phone system's based in the cloud, right? It's all based on servers that we have all over the country for redundancy, but essentially you're one virtual office wherever you want to be. If you're a one-man show, you can make it look like you're a huge corporation. And if you're a huge corporation spread out all over the country, you can make it appear like everybody that client needed was sitting in the room waiting for him to answer the phone.
That's amazing. So what's like the response time? Like if I call a business with your system, how long would it take me to talk to somebody?
Okay, so just in general, you don't want a client to be waiting from the minute they dial the phone until they get a voice for more than 45 seconds. That's kind of the golden number. If somebody takes longer than that, you start getting bored. You start thinking, man, I really don't have time for this. I'm going to hang up.
So you lose them.
Yeah, you lose them.
Because in that moment, they're like, I want this.
Oh, yeah, especially if they respond.
I want it now.
Yeah, to anything on, if they're responding to an ad, if they're anything that, kind of pushed them to take action right then, you got 45 seconds to get somebody on the phone with them.
Right.
And so that's our goal. Everything that we're going to set up for you is to get that client on the phone with you and get them in a position they can get a hold of you or somebody qualified on your team in 45 seconds.
45 seconds or less.
That's it.
So you've got an attention span of 45 seconds.
That's
What's the number you really do it? Like 20? You try to do it 20 seconds?
You do it as quick as possible.
Yeah.
If somebody calls my number, if they called me off, in fact, while I've been sitting there, my phone's been ringing. Feel bad. Sorry, guys, if you're watching. I'm sorry about that. But when they call the office, it's pinging my phone. If I've hit the out button on my office, it's pinging my mobile directly. And right now, it's getting forwarded out to my team. Right? We just don't want any time in between when somebody calls, between then and when we can get them signed up with Mango Voice.
Great. So what you guys have done is you developed a system where there's no wait, that nobody's not going to talk to a customer, and you're not going to be missing opportunities, which I think a lot of people don't understand how important that actual piece of mechanical device is, because it is the route to get into communication with you, connected to your cell phone, connected to other people. Like you just said, you've got people calling you right now, but it's banging out to other people of your team. So someone somewhere is being responded to, communicated with, acknowledged, and possibly more than likely being closed.
Closed, all right? We want to close them.
We want to close. I want to close. Give me a phone that gets me to close people.
And emails are fine, text messages are fine, but what's the number one thing you've got to do to close deals? It's talk to them, voice to voice, right? Face to face is tough. I had to fly a whole day just to get here. That's tough.
Yeah.
But voice to voice, we've got to. If they're willing to take the time to get on the phone with us, we've got to do that. And I'll tell you, let me just give you a quick case study, okay?
Yeah, please give me a case study.
So let's talk about a dentist office. Do you have any idea what they spend to get their phone to ring one time?
I have no idea.
$400 on average. They're going to spend $400 in marketing and all their advertising, sponsoring Little League baseball teams, whatever it is, to get that phone to ring. What happens if they miss that call?
They just wasted $400.
That's right. It's $400 in the garbage. So there's a dental office that integrated Mango Voice. So not only do they have the advantage now of never missing a call, it's going to go right through to their main number, start pinging desks where their office manager sits, where the receptionist sits. It'll even go back and ping into the operatory rooms, right? So that they never miss that call that comes in. But more importantly, we can give you individual numbers for every one of your marketing sources.
Oh, wow.
So on the Little League t-shirts, there's a certain number. On their Facebook, there's a certain number. On their Google ads, it's a certain number. Now, what's the advantage there?
You know where it's coming from.
We know where it's coming from. Historically, you'd say, yeah, we spend some money on marketing, and we don't really know where it came from.
So you went to the next level, like instead of going from, like you've targeted phone numbers now.
That's right.
You've done. Now you've geo-tracked or geo-tagged phone numbers.
Sure, you're on the right track. So we can
mean?
give you a phone number associated with every piece of marketing that you're doing. So at the end of the month, when you say, well, what should I spend money on next month? Was it the newspaper? Was it Little League? Was it my Google ads, Facebook? Where should I spend money? Look at your call reports. It's easy. You log in, pull up your call reports. Where do they come from?
Yeah.
If you got 1 or 2 phone calls from X amount of marketing, probably don't go down that road anymore.
Probably not.
Pour your money where it's working, right? So it's beyond just a communication tool for your customers to make sure they get a high quality voice interaction. Now you can use this as a marketing tool to grow your business. So as opposed to just saying, hey, we have 1 phone number, that's silly. Phone numbers don't cost anything. Years ago that wasn't the case. Now we can give you as many phone numbers as you need. Right. And check this out. You literally, with voice over IP, have unlimited numbers. If you ever call the number and get a busy signal, and it happens all the time, even at businesses, we call to sell a Mango Voice and we get a busy signal. That's our favorite thing, because if I get a busy signal when I call your business, I'm going to hang up. But as a sales guy, I'm like, awesome, I've got you. I'm selling you Mango Voice phones. because we're going to give you unlimited lines. Nobody will ever be able to get a hold of a busy signal when they call you. That's a thing of the past. That doesn't exist anymore.
So you've got 100 new features. You save people money. You actually connect people faster. You get into communication with your clients faster.
That's right.
Now, we were talking a little bit earlier. You had a special that you wanted to offer to the audience.
Yeah.
For Grant. So Grant Cardone fans, we have a special for you. Those of you that have businesses that are looking for a supremely awesome phone system, basically what we've just talked about here. Jason's just going to elaborate a little bit more on what that actual phone system, the offer is.
Yeah.
So you can take advantage of it right now. So go ahead and take
Okay, so check this out. Typically a phone system, you've got to, with voice over IP, you've got to get a piece of equipment. You've got to get the phone. And they're typically, on the lowest end, they're about $50, all right? So you got to buy a piece of equipment that's $50. And then you're going to look to spend with voice over IP for everything we do with Mango Voice, about $29 to $35 a month, somewhere right in there. So this is what we put together just for Grant Cardone's people. And let me tell you where to get this deal first, because I don't want to forget about that. So you go to www.mangovoice.com/Cardone, all right?
Mangovoice.com/Cardone. Mangovoice.com/Cardone. Go to mangovoice.com/Cardone for Jason's special offer.
Yeah, that's right. So here's what it is. I'm going to give you absolutely free a T21 phone. That's a $50 phone. So for as many phones as you need, Grant Cardone customers, we're going to give you that phone for free. Or I'll give you a $50 credit to upgrade to one of the higher end phones. And that's what's on my desk, a $150 phone. You know, you don't have to break the bank to get these things, but they're super sweet, touch screen, looks really nice on the desktop there. So listen, you can get one of those phones. I'll give you a nice phone for free, absolutely free. Here's the other thing I'm going to do. Instead of having to get certain number of phones before you get discounts, working through that whole thing, every line that Grant Cardone's customers need, I'm going to give it to you for $20 a month.
That's awesome.
Flat fee,
wow.
$20 a month.
That's great.
That's it. Unlimited calling. I'm going to give you a fax number. People ask all the time, well, what about fax? I'm going to give you a fax number. So we're going to give you virtual fax. We're going to give you the app. I haven't even talked about the app today. Yeah. Super cool. You can have an app on your phone. Now check this out. Let's say you're a doctor.
Yeah.
And your patient calls the office and you need to call them back from your phone. I don't want them to get my personal cell phone number. So I can log into the app, call them back from the app. It shows up on their phone as my office number. So I can now maintain my privacy, yet they still get the same service they want, right?
Wow, that's amazing.
Okay, so we're going to include the app, we're going to include the fax number, flat fee, $20 a month, and I'm going to give you a T21 phone or a $50 credit to whatever phone you want that we sell.
Mangovoice.com/Cardone, mangovoice.com/Cardone. Jason,
yeah.
It has been awesome. You have shared some amazing insights about the one thing we need to make millions on the phone, which is the phone itself.
That's right. You
need the phone.
That's
you
right.
need the phone to start, and he's going to supply the phone for you. The things that I took away today, you know, you want to get involved with a company that can supply features, services, support, benefits, whatever gets you in front of the customers faster, whatever helps you close that deal faster, and not miss the opportunities to actually make a sale and make some money. So Jason, thank you so much for coming in.
Hey, absolutely. Thanks for having me out. It's been wonderful.
Mangovoice.com/Cardone is the spot you want to go to. Follow Jason on Twitter at Jason Emmett. It's right there below him. Every week, Grant and I bring somebody who's an expert, who is the pro in their industry, in their field. Stay tuned next week because I want you in that chair there. We'll be able to interview you and learn about what your business does, get you some exposure, and grow your business. Thanks for tuning in.
It's awesome. Do it.
It's
awesome.
Do it.
Follow Sislo.
Thank you. Tune in next week.